Hello! My name is Meerah, and I'm a Lorekeeper in one of the Art+Rig libraries. Today, I wanted to talk about the Great Ones from the Lovecraft Mythos. The Great Ones are deities that reside on Earth whose sphere of influence is limited to the dimension of the Dreamlands. They are alternatively called the weak gods of Earth, and are known for being far less powerful than the Great Old Ones, and less intelligent than even humans. Not the best thing to be known for. However, they rule over Kadath and the Dreamlands, and are under the direct protection of Nyarlathotep. Whether he looks after them because they're actually important in the grand scheme of things, or because they're like a pet project for him, who can say? Nyar is a wild card. That's kind of his thing. Many of the Great Ones first appear in H.P. Lovecraft's short story The Doom That Came to Sarnath, written in 1920. While others appear in the 1920 Lexaous and 1925 The Horror at Red Hook. The Great Ones are Lilith, Tamash, Lobon, Zo-Kalar, nat-horthath, and Hagarg Ryonis. Let's start with Lilith, since that's a name I am sure many of you are familiar with, even if it's just a little bit. She is alternatively known as the Queen of the Night and Ilithia. Lilith is an entity that appears in Jewish mythology as the first woman ever created who refused to submit to Adam, and thus became the mother of all demons. Or at least that's one version of the story. In another version of the story, she's alleged to be one of the avatars of Our Lady of Sorrow, and in another, the very first vampire. But in this version of Lilith, she appears in H.P. Lovecraft's The Horror at Red Hook. She is a great one that copulates with the elder god Nodin's Lord of the Great Abyss. Interestingly enough, in this version, she does have a lot of characteristic similarities to like the vampire mythology or the succubus mythology, such as appearing as a beautiful woman who can charm her suitors into obedience minions. She's also infamous for draining men of their energy and their bodily fluids while they sleep. Yeah. She then uses said fluids to create abominations and monsters, so that's fun. Anything that goes bump in the night is said to be a child of Lilith. Much like a vampire, she is described as having raven hair, crimson lips, pale skin, powerful and invulnerable at night, yet she can be harmed normally during the day, has the ability of hypnotism, etc. You get the picture. Did I mention that Nyarlathotep is her father? Because that may explain a lot of her more promiscuous behavior. Next is Tamash, one of the chief deities worshipped in the city of Sarnath, along with Lobon and Zo-Kalar. All three are known for appearing as bearded, wise, graceful men. Tamash specifically is described as a middle-aged bearded man with a cape and long hair. Think very like classical marble statue types. He is alternatively known as Tamash of Illusions, so one might perhaps infer what he is capable of based on that. I suspect that Tamash has a minor ability to meddle with one's perception of reality in the dreamland, or perhaps he has the ability to manipulate the dream itself. Again, very Nyarlathotep-esque, just saying. Next is Lobon, another of the deities worshipped in Sarnath, and he is described as a young bearded man wearing a crown of ivory and carrying a spear. Much like his two fellows, not much is known about him other than his name, Lobon of the Sacred Spear. It could be theorized based on that perhaps he was a god of the hunt or a god of warfare. Ugh. If you thought we didn't know much about Tamash and Lobon, I have bad news about Zo-Kalar. Zo-Kalar was the third god worshipped in the doomed city of Sarnath and was depicted as a bearded old man. Aside from him being a great one that dwells on Kadath, we know nothing about him. It's theorized that he may actually be the same entity as Caracal of Flames, who is another great one created by Sandy Petersen, is also known only for their name, but we can deduce that it involves fire. So, another great one created by Sandy Petersen is Hagarg Ryonis, also known as the Liar in Wait. All is known about Hagarg is that he appears as a giant reptile, and his name sounds like a cat throwing up. Hagarg! 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 And most depressingly is nat-horthath. Nat is known as one of the chief gods of the Dreamlands city of Lexaous, and that's literally all that is known about him. He appears in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, or rather the city does. What we do know about the city of Lexaous is that much of it resembled Cornwall, England, so I am imagining Nat as Edward Woodward, and you cannot stop me. So that's pretty much it. You guys want to know my headcanon? I have no proof whatsoever for this, other than Lilith, but my headcanon is that all the Great Ones of Kadath are actually children of Nyarlathotep by different secondary parents. Lilith is the only one we know for sure that could be his, but I could totally see the rest of them being his kids too, just based on like their mysterious natures and their abilities and stuff. It seems plausible. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble, and I hope to see you next time here in the library.